You've eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit, but your feast is nearly over.
This isn't a black hole. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon. Why aren't you laughing?
From this moment on, none of you are safe.
Welcome to the Batman Book Club, a podcast exploring the Dark Knight Library. I'm your host, Ryan Lauer. The Batman Book Club is a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Just go to batmanonfilm.com and click on podcasts, and you'll find the Batman Podcast Network. The Batman Book Club is also on Patreon, so if you like what's going on with the show and you want to help support the show, keep the generators running in the Wayne Manor study, just go to patreon.com/thebatmanbc. Now, we're at the end of another month, and as we have done the past, 4 years plus, it's a wrap-up time. So I got to reel in the big Dukaroo, the man who reads more comics than anybody I know, I believe. It's the greatest Italian in these here parts. It's Peter R. Verra. Peter, hello.
Has it really been 4 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I say we did. You and the Champion of Long Island came on and we did the two like crossover episodes for Future State, and then that's what got you and I talking of like, we're both reading monthly comics. You want to just start doing wrap-ups? And so I think that March of 2021.
So
here we are.
Reading all these Batman books for 4 years, huh?
All these Batman books for 4 years.
4
You and I
years.
have not missed a month.
Really?
That's dedication.
Wow. So I think we know something, huh?
Jim Lee,
I think we know things.
if somehow you're listening to this
Been
because
following.
of last episode, with Tom King, maybe you listen to that one. You're like, let's see what this Ryan Lauer joke is doing the next episode. Here you go. You have two people here, fully committed on all Batman comics.
Just
I don't know
saying.
what that's supposed to mean. There's an opportunity there.
Just saying. Just saying, Jimmy. Just saying.
We've read some things. We've done some things. And Jimmy, while I got you here, Pete, there's a couple of things comic related that I want to mention off the top. We'll stick with Jim Lee. This month, out the gate, there was no Batman Hush 2 Part 4. That got pushed back to next month.
Right.
And then that's in July. And then in August, there is no Batman Hush 2 Part 5. That's pushed to September. And then Batman Hush 2 Part 6 is going to be in October. Also in September is launching the Batman #1 with Jorge Jimenez and Matt Fraction, starting over, renumbering. So like you and I were kind of scratching our heads.
If we don't like this Jimenez run, are we going to officially call him a jinx?
Yeah, I know, right? I have. You and I have mentioned that of like for us.
I mean, I do like his time and some of his time and stuff.
Results may vary. We just feel like, man, he's such a good artist, but we feel he's getting paired up with bad stories. Yeah. So I really hope Fraction comes in and it's because
I'm actually not too familiar with Fraction.
And is that kind of nice? You're kind of coming in without any kind of baggage, any kind of expectation or anything.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It was weird because certain writers have reputations and you get excited and they don't deliver, and then others it's the opposite.
Yeah.
We got two of those stories this month at least, so.
Okay.
That's what happens. Well, it's true.
We've been on both sides.
Waters.
I think we've been on both sides of the aisle with that. Ones that we are excited for, have been disappointed, and then in other cases, it's like ones who are like, I don't know, and end up liking it, and then I don't know. It's kind of all over the place. So,
Absolute Batman Dark Patterns. That's it. Not one title. That's two titles. Don't come at me.
Absolute Batman Dark Patterns.
Yeah,
let's combine the two.
As I said, Waters and Snyder. Totally.
It's all connected.
Like, whoa. Surprised by both.
So there's that update. I mean, with that delay, there's also no Last Halloween this month. There's no Last Halloween next month, and then it picks back up in August.
Did you know what Halloween came out this month?
Yes, the facsimile, right?
Yeah, I picked it up. Did you pick up yours?
I did not.
I did. I'm a sucker. They got me every time. They know what they're doing.
I'm in the... See, I've got the Ghosts original, and I think I want to get the other two original. I want to hunt them down and get the original copies, just so, because the completist nature in me of all Loeb's Sale Batman stuff and
Yeah.
everything. I'm like, man, I think I want the original stuff
No,
on
it's
that.
I'm
But
I'm all for it. I'm just again reader copies.
I looked at it
I
for
don't have to
sure,
read the original. I can just keep it there nice in the bag. It'll stay there forever,
for
protected, and then I
sure.
could beat the hell out of this facsimile. You know, throw it
There's a
around, roll it up in my pocket like I'm a 12-year-old kid.
ride it on your bike,
Yeah.
put it in your back
Oh,
pocket.
check it out. Picked up this cool reprint Batman, guys. Look at this.
Yeah.
Whoa, check out this penguin.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's more Scarecrow, right? I forget. I can't,
Yes.
it's one of them. I can't remember which one. I'll just
Well,
buy
I'm
it.
trying to think now because I
Buy it,
do get
read it,
confused.
love it.
No, yeah, that's true. The one you have
I
it
have it right
is
here. I should just look
Fear,
at it.
and it's just the pumpkin. There's no hat, so that's the Scarecrow one. That was the first one.
Yeah, let me see. I just
The hat on top is the Mad Hatter one, which is the second year, which was '94.
They honestly could reprint the same one over and over again. I'd still buy it. Like you know,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
fair.
I
Yeah.
just, I love picking it. It's weird, kind of like there's something about going into the store picking it up like it's new. Like, oh, they
Yeah,
just printed this. Like, I don't know. Like this is a classic.
yeah.
So for anyone who wants to argue that, that's always a fun topic, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A
So
worthy topic where somebody
Jeff
pushing up
Loeb,
against
writer
it.
of
Sorry,
only
you're
so
wrong.
many classics. Jeff Loeb's classics have been tapped out.
You might be the best Batman writer, one of them all the time. Anyways, yeah, one of the comic shops I go to, they have a long, like on the side, like a shelf, like two shelves, and it's all their facsimiles for everything DC and Marvel, and it's just like a really cool
One day I'm going to carve this
setup.
pumpkin. I know you can't see that on
Give it a
podcast,
shot. Yeah,
but I
Pete's
feel like
on
I could
where
do
instead
it.
of teeth, it's the bat symbol in the
Yeah,
mouth, and like everybody knows. Anybody listen to this, they know what that cover looks like.
yeah. One day I'm going to give it a shot.
Facsimile. Make it happen, and make sure you post it, Pete.
Mhm.
Everybody will want to see it. Let's see, two other notes. Batman First Night, Dan Jurgens, Mike Perkins. You weren't too high on that Black Label series. I was a big fan of it. They did announce that Second Night is coming beginning in September. Same team. One of the variant covers from Jorge Fornes looked like Scarecrow in the background,
Any
and
time
that looked
jump or anything,
freaking
or is it
awesome.
just kind
It
of
looked like continuation.
all
Very,
right?
very little information, and then just like some art,
The
just like a cover or
sacrifices
two.
I do for Ryan Lauer.
I know, I know. I'm excited for it. Fair, you had your reasons you didn't enjoy it, and obviously very fair. But anybody that might have missed that, that's coming in September, so that's cool. And then lastly, uh, Tom King was on the last episode. Don't know how I got that to happen, but he said at the end of the episode.
I think I know how you got to happen. You're Ryan Lauer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Um,
host of the Batman Book Club. Come on now, let's be serious.
the towards the end of the episode, I just randomly asked him. I knew nothing. Um,
Of course.
and I just asked him, "Do you have more Batman, in your
Hmm.
pocket?" And he goes, "Yeah, absolutely. I just finished writing new Batman."
Oh,
And he said
yes,
it's
yes.
a 40-page Batman story coming out in 2026. And
One
when I
shot
sat with
even.
him, yeah, when
Okay.
I sat with him, I asked, or he said with an artist, and I don't know if I forget if he said one of, or if he said with the best comic artist working around. He could not tell me who it was at the time because it wasn't announced. But that's coming in 2026. Pete, the
Who do
Batman
you
Book
think
Club
it
got
is?
Batman Book Club got mentioned on Bleeding Cool, and I think maybe comicbook.com. Like, woo, look at that.
You're
Well,
you're making moves.
Bleeding Cool followed it up saying Steve McNiven is to join Tom King on Batman in 2026. Steve
Mhm.
McNiven, sorry. Uh,
Did you just
let's
break news?
see. I didn't break it. Bleeding Cool did, but I saw it.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
saw that they posted this, and maybe Javi Trujillo, our pal Javi Trujillo, big
You
shout out to
caused
him
the
because he's the
investigation.
one. He sent me Bleeding Cool's first mention of this, and I think he mentioned here he sent me the second one. Bleeding Cool
Mhm.
announced the artist, but I McNiven might have put something on social media or whatever. But I'm unfamiliar as much of a comic reader as I am. I'm unfamiliar with his work.
Can
Does
you
his name
do,
ring a
are
bell?
you do you, not honestly no. Do you
Okay.
have his like work on the phone? I was just curious as you were searching
Yeah, I was trying
because
to find the
maybe it's very possible he could be writing for or illustrating a book I'm just not reading. So,
yeah,
that's very
he's
possible.
Canadian
There's only so
comic
many
book
Marvel books. I
artist.
don't know where he comes from, or if it's an indie book. I don't know.
Career.
Yeah.
Let's see. Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, he's on Brand New Day. You know that I just got that omnibus because so I've read it.
Okay. Well, then
I read a
I
lot of
like that
Brand New Day.
artwork, you know. I'm sorry I don't
Yeah.
remember, but yeah, no, I mean, I actually like Brand New Day as a story. I catch a lot of heat for it. I usually like the stories that people hate, like the Sins Past. When it comes to
He
Spider-Man, I'm like, the more controversial the story, the more I enjoy it, you know. So,
You and I have talked a lot about Brand New Day because I said that was the perfect time when I moved into to a bigger city in
mhm,
college, had comic shops available to me. So that's when I was really back into weekly getting Batman comics. I
mhm.
bought Spider-Man comics, and actually the Spider-Man that I picked up was right when Brand New Day started.
There you
So I
go.
can't envision McNiven's art off the top of my head, but it's like I know that I've seen it because he did looks like one arc with Brand New Day. He did Civil War number 1 through 7. Death of
Then,
Wolverine.
okay, it's funny. Then I have a lot of this actually. It's funny that his name. Maybe
Yeah.
it's been a while. I don't know.
It's been a while.
Just been sloppy, but no, like I can't say I've ever had any issues with any of those stories. So,
Yeah.
this sounds
I
all
can't
good.
just I just can't off the top of my head like pick it out, but it looks like
But it's cool seeing,
he's hardcore
interesting to see
Marvel.
guy jump ship. You know, it seems like he's been
Yeah.
doing a lot of Marvel stuff. I hope it works better than Romita and on the writing side. What's his name? He did Superman. I forget his name. Bendis.
Bendis? Yeah.
Yeah, Bendis or Romita. We're like, man, you guys shouldn't have jumped.
Yeah.
You should have stayed over there.
Oy. Oy. But yeah, so that's coming sometime in 2026, and I look forward to it because I'd asked Tom if this 40-page story, and I said, is it something that's going to be in under a title like one issue, a big issue in Detective or Batman, or if it's just like a standalone, kind of like how Batman Elmer Fudd was, because that was the main reason he came on and talked. And he thought, again, things change. He thought it's going to be just its own standalone thing. So I'll be looking out for
Look,
that.
I'm just happy to
Obviously,
have him
I'm in.
back. Just
Yeah,
happy. Yeah.
you and I are big fans.
Yeah,
We're not blowing smoke. You and we're big Tom King on Batman fans.
to
Um,
be honest, I like his run more than the Snyder run. I know the Snyder run was big and it brought people back, but I really like King's run a lot
I'm with
as a
you.
whole.
There's
Yeah,
yeah,
and
as a
even the
whole,
parts, the Killing Time and Bat
yeah.
Cat and all that stuff that has followed. Like you know how much I love Killing Time.
I brought your name
Uh,
up. I
what
know
to
you're a
who?
busy man. I brought
To
it up to Tom.
who?
I did
He
in that, and I
doesn't know who
said,
I am.
"Oh, he does know."
He does
But
not know who I
I
am.
said my friend Pete. I said he met you at New York Comic Con, and he said if you get a chance to talk to Tom King, he loves talking Killing Time. And so we talked quite a bit about Killing Time, and then I mentioned you again later on in the episode. So he's heard the name
Well, we'll see
Pete.
what. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll
He
see what
stood up,
happens.
he saluted,
Yeah, there we go.
he
I should
started eating
salute
some
him. He was a
pasta.
Secret Service agent. He's a
Yeah,
true patriot.
he is. So there you go. That's coming next year. You and I are going to talk about it because we talk about Batman comics every month.
Mhm.
Look forward to it. So there we go. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get ready to talk about Batman comics released in June. What is now becoming a habit, Pete, the first or a routine, the first Wednesday is Batmanless, pretty much for the most part. So we were kind of
Do
getting
you think
free
that's
Wednesdays of
intentional
Batman.
because of Superman? Because what doesn't the Superman come out early
I
July?
don't I don't think so. I think because the Batman title with Zdarsky, that was the first Wednesday. So it's almost like each
Mhm.
month was bookended by
Just
the
curious.
legacy
I was
titles
just
of
literally trying to pull anything.
no, I got you because then I think it was to give more room for when Hush 2 started. All of a sudden, it flipped to the very last Wednesday of the month, and that's where the release for Batman has been, those first three parts. So yeah, nothing that first Wednesday. We always like to get the big one out of the way first. So June 11th, that second Wednesday of the month is Absolute Batman number 9. You're quick with your thoughts of late on this. You can go ahead and say as much or as little as you want. He's mute. Peter has nothing to say about Absolute Batman number 9. I'll go ahead first. uh man, I recorded with Bill for BOF uh the most recent episode that he dropped, and no, he before we recorded, I don't think it was on. I said that Absolute Batman is so up and down for me. It's never to the extreme that I love it or that I hate it. it just kind of goes up and down. I'm like, oh, I kind of like this, and then does something else where I'm like, I don't think I like that, and sometimes feels too like, yeah, this is this is kick ass. And there were
Mountain Dew
moments of,
Batman, we're extreme.
and that's what I should be for, Pete. You know, I guzzle and chug Mountain Dew. But there were parts in here that I was eye rolly with, and then it was like I do love Batman Bane first confrontations because there is this like, oh shit, as a fan of Batman, that you know Batman's gonna lose because he's gonna underestimate on those
Yeah.
first meetings with Bane. And I think they're always done pretty freaking well. And then even brought to film uh
Well, almost all of them.
in Rises. Yeah, almost all of them.
Well,
In
not
Rises,
Batman and Robin.
one of the,
Well,
yeah, exactly. Bomb.
did they ever have like I'm trying to think. Because I remember Bane goes after Robin and Batgirl.
Yeah.
When does Batman even come face to face with Bane? I don't even know.
In the snow cone place, I thought when he and then Robin comes in and they fight
Okay. All right.
each other more than fighting Bane. So yeah, very like not good. But then it's totally like
Poor Joel.
by far makes up for it in Rises of that, you know, battle
Oh,
basically in the
Rises.
pit in the sewers.
Oh.
It's so like sad as a Batman fan, but the scene is freaking
I mean,
awesome.
is there? I know this happened to me. I got during Rises. I got very into it because I was like, I can't wait to watch Batman get his ass kicked.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, right?
as weird as that sounds, right? Like, there's
You know,
something
he's
about
coming out the
watching
other end.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. He's Batman. He's, okay. Yeah, like you said, first meeting. There's always something about
Yeah,
watching Bane just dismantle Batman
yeah.
for the first time. So I'm with you on that.
Because I mean, like then he goes on a journey to correct and figure out how to take him down. I think that's just always got to be the story.
Hmm.
And so here it was eye rolly with certain things, but not terrible throughout the issue by any means. It's just like what I've said, up and down throughout. No, he's meeting, and it did feel a little bit like Rises when that gate closes, you know, and Batman says like, "You made a serious mistake," and you're Bane of
Yeah.
like, "Our serious is yours," and he turns around, and that moment you're like, "Oh shit!" I did get that vibe a little bit
Hmm.
in toward at the end of this issue, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
The beginning of the issue, it reminded me a little bit of the Batman cartoon series of like two guys, business guys or whatever, and then
Hmm.
Bane comes in, you know, and then he takes out one of them quickly. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Stuff in between and a little flashbacky and
I think
stuff. I
Bane's characterization is very good.
was not all that. I don't know the approach. I mean, so in and out of like these. We know they're gonna be villains, but they're Batman's friends now, and they're plotting how to help. I'm like, I don't know. I'm so wishy washy on that. And then Bane's design, characterization, this little bit we get of him, dig it, totally dig it.
Yeah, I'm with
The
you.
look and design of him though, way too
Is
much.
that part of his mask or is that actually his mouth and teeth? I can't
Mm,
figure that out.
yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't like the design. I think he looks too big. Like
Yes,
he's
it's way too
too
much.
big, too big, and his head is way too small. I
Yep.
just proportion like this looks like one of those weird McFarlane figures that you can't
Yeah.
really. They come like pre-posed. Like I don't know what he calls them. The Bigums. That's what Al Bundy would call them. But like, but like
All right.
I just can't get into the design of
Yeah.
Bane. And anyone who complains about Batman and Sidekicks or Batman and Friends, and then supports Batman and the Knights of the Round Gotham table, like I don't want to hear a goddamn word from you ever again. This is the worst part of this book. The stuff that actually Barbara Gordon I think is really cool, interacting through that cowl thing. I kind of dig that. Like I thought that was
Sure.
pretty interesting. I really like that, to be honest with you. Even their interactions in the alley, like I really like that. The regular Gordon stuff I can't stand. With him smashing it with Martha, that's
And
crap. Yeah,
Mar.
whatever that's bullshit. And then
Yeah.
Ra's al Alfred and
Yeah.
the Knights of Gotham. That's crap too. So that's absolutely dreadful. It just is. It's horrible. It's it's the worst thing I've ever read in a long time. So that may
So I
not
mean,
make
it's just
sense, but I can't stand it.
it ebbs and flows. And 9 issues in, it's not like, I mean, it's a comic book. I'm not gonna be like I'm so stressed out or pull like a Stephen A.
No, because there's
Smith
so
and
many
just
better
start
books out there.
yelling or anything either. Like it's a comic, but in the end, I'm
I
like,
will say this is the most unique Batman book being printed. That's the only compliment I get. It's unlike any other Batman book out there. That's
okay,
how
I
it's
think I'd
very
agree with
different.
that.
You know,
Yeah,
with all with its characterization change. I think it does stand out to me, not in a good way, but I think it stands out, and I think that's what he's trying to do. So this is
yeah,
probably the nicest I've been
it is. So
about
way to
this.
go.
But well, mostly because I think he nailed Bane's characterization.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
I like how Bane interacts with people and what he's doing and everything like that. I think that's really good. And Bane's one of my favorite characters. So, and I think it's kind of cool this underground city thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so we'll see where it
Like,
goes.
yeah. Exactly. I mean, in the end, it is just like, okay,
But like, what is this
it's
vampire thing? Is that is that
yeah.
Dracula?
Oh, man, I don't know. We're just, I don't know. We'll see. And I'm not against stuff like that. Batman Red Rain. I really like the story. Batman Full Moon with him and a werewolf. We really liked that story. So it's just hard to figure out. And I think there you go. That's the book. That's absolute Batman. It's hard to figure out for me. Like, I don't know with it. At 9 issues in, I still just don't know. But we have access that we can read it and we can talk about it on a wrap up. So we're going to.
I feel like the last shot of Bane looks like what Michael Rooker at some point looks like in Slither. Just disgusting, bubbly, veiny, pussy.
Oh,
Just I
man.
was like,
Yeah. Nice.
just like it's just.
Excellent.
Sometimes it looks like he has most gigantic rack you've ever seen in your life. I just don't. I was like, what are they thinking with
Damn,
this?
Michael Rooker putting in the work. uh,
Michael Rooker.
I mean, you already said earlier, you said absolute Batman Dark Patterns. So let's continue on then. Let's do Batman Dark Patterns number 7. New
Yeah,
arc.
man.
This is the third arc of this title. Dan Waters, Hayden Sherman. Peter, take it away.
I had fun with this. Like I like this Dan Waters stuff.
Yeah.
I'm really into it. It's they're solid detective stories. He's going on this mission, and it's I don't know, like it's the most detective Batman I think we've read in a long time. I think across DC, I think there's a lot of detective stuff, really heavy detective stuff, and I'm really enjoying that. And also, the artist did a fantastic job with these layouts.
Oh my God.
Um, like
The
I just
big
like all
the
the
big full
patterns. I'm
pages.
trying to find a name.
Hayden
Last
Sherman.
name Sherman. But
Hayden
wow, like
Sherman.
yeah, really enjoying the layouts, the tone of the book, like tone is in the
So
color.
let's call
Um,
out with art since you said it. And I'm going to interrupt you just because when
sure,
it
go
opens
for it.
up
I'm
to
just kind of rambling.
him in the study and like that background of Gotham, we see it
Mhm.
later on too, and then it like flips it as he walks to the, it changes perspective or angles, and then we get a full page of him looking out the window. It's like that kind of stuff is just it's just mixing it up every single page. It's not the same exact thing on every page,
And
like
it's
as far
weird
as
because like you
layout.
look at it and you're like, this is like, I feel like I'm like I could see year one inspiration. I see sale inspiration. I see
Yeah.
year one because I always butcher his name, so that's why I say it that way. But like you could see it in there, and it's just I don't know. I get like '70s vibes from this. Maybe it's because Batman's a little leaner.
Yeah.
He's not. He's much more slimmed down in this. It feels more kind of classical. Especially with the way the shadows interact with the cow, that gives it almost like a '60s vibe to it at times too. Like this book's fantastic.
So
And then you
good.
throw in, and there's circles and squares and semicircles and half moons and like there's these zigzags, and I was like, it's unique in terms of how it looks. So
I am I've held off on the physical
Batmobile looks
issues of
cool too.
this out
Mhm.
of pure hope, knowing that it's 12 issues, that like they're going to collect it in a deluxe edition, and then I will be like day one, it'll be mine.
Mhm.
And it's on the path now, 7 out of 12 of like this is a contemporary classic kind of Batman story, I think, for sure. And I
Okay.
love the breakup of it's a 3 issue arcs. It's gonna be 4 arcs, not one long story to where sometimes you can have a little bit of like it's kind of in cruise control here, like in the middle.
You
It's
mean
like
so they
no, it's
don't skip months and
firing.
delay books?
Yeah. And it's like firing on all cylinders, every single one. And it does feel
Yeah.
very like
It's kind of got
uh
vibes of the cult at times too, like a satanic.
yeah,
I don't know. It's got it's Waters has got an interesting mind. I didn't know
yeah.
how he would work with Batman, but he's kind of taken this almost dark psychological route with it. But there's a lot of detective work, and like I didn't see this coming based on his stuff he was doing with V and the back issues. I was like, that stuff was bad. If you want to hear me talk negative about things, that's real. That like those when we talk about those were really
That
bad.
inspired Waters. We're taking full credit that he heard you on this show and was like,
We
man, I need to
challenged
win
him.
Pete
So we're
over.
like Charles Barkley and Shaq, and
Yeah.
we inspire the athletes. So that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Which one of us is Shaq? Which one of us is leaving mid
based on
podcast to go take
size
a
and
dump?
size is me. I'm probably Shaq.
It's
I don't
you?
know.
Okay.
Barkley's pretty big too. You're probably more Kenny Smith.
Okay.
That's probably
I'll
what you
take
are.
it.
You're more Kenny Smith. Then I'm
Uh,
probably more Barkley than Shaq.
this brings up to me though, because it's very grounded is just used so much anymore that for some reason now people almost like kind of flinch if they hear the word.
Mhm.
It's like a trigger word for them now, but it's very grounded in the sense of like we're alongside Batman for we're not at like oh the apocalypse worldwide
Small scale.
nuclear pro yes very small scale and I love that. I really do love
I
that
think
stuff.
Batman works best, like honestly, like even when I think it's even too big for like even going back to Rises, like a bomb that ruins the city. I was like, I feel like that's Batman should be
Yeah.
doing more like crime oriented things, stuff like that. I mean, it's doable. I get it. It makes sense. Like there's obviously there's terroristic threats all the time, so like I get it. But I'm with you. I like Batman more kind of like street level
Yeah.
crime. Batman's more or less a police officer, right? In a
Yeah.
sense, like
Yep. Yeah.
I
That's
think
why
that's
The
what
Dark
you
Knight's
do.
my favorite
Mhm.
Batman movie. It almost feels like that what you just described. And you'd mentioned Waters and how he's writing, and I really right now think he and Matt and Tomlin, I feel similarities in the types of
Oh,
creators
by
that
the way,
they
they just
are.
finished the script for the Batman, so you don't have to
Damn
worry
right
about
they
it.
did.
You don't have to
Yeah,
worry. It's not
calm
canceled.
down.
It's not
It is
canceled.
coming. You know, the fun
It's
thing
not
was to say,
canceled.
if it even gets here, you know, I'll be an old man in a retirement home. But no, it's coming. But Tom, I think of like the imposter. Like this kind of does make me think a little of the imposter of like small
Yeah,
scale, gritty, grounded, very unique in storytelling, psychological, like
I should
very
reread
similar,
that.
but they're completely different stories. And yeah, I need to dust off and read that because it's been probably like 2 years or so
It's
since
just
I
a
read
good
it.
warm up for the movie.
Yeah,
You know,
but
Tomlin.
I mean, Dark Patterns, I'll say anybody who hasn't started yet, like you could start with issue 7. It's a new arc. You don't have to
Mhm.
know everything that's happened before this to get going. Because like, man, we're in the middle of like you and I have been so high on this book every issue. So comes highly recommended from me, and it sounds like from Pete too. Like, check it out. Do it. Do it.
Do it
Uh,
now.
oh my God.
High school
Robin and
preview.
Batman, Jason Todd, #1.
Hmm.
Dustin Nguyen, Jeff Lemire, apologies. Uh, let's see, was it 2022 that the first Robin and Batman series came out?
Yeah,
I loved it. Same
that was
team,
great.
loved it. Three 40-page issues, 3 months done. Yeah, this one was great. Very showing, which we all know. So at this point too, some people could fear of like, oh, we already know the Batman Jason Todd Robin relationship and stuff, but I'm always open to well,
Hmm.
let's revisit it. Sure, if you have a new angle, an updated spin on it or something. And I think this is very relationship driven, but not in the corny, my son, he's like my son, but the problematic Jason Todd, but also not completely problematic. You see, it's like, man, it's just a kid kind of trying to figure it out, but he's hot headed, can't control it. And then the artwork too, which I got to meet Dustin when or talk to him again earlier this year at the convention I went to, and he really pushed this too. He was like, "Hey, the Jason Todd one's coming out this summer." I'm like, "Oh, I'm aware, Mr. Wen. It's gonna be
Oh, I
mine,
know.
okay? I'm
Uh,
aware. I'm gonna read this."
Justin, I know.
And he signed #1 of my other.
Mhm.
I'm on a mission to have him sign all the Heart of Hush issues, and I think I've got 4 or 5 of the 6 signed by him. And yeah,
I heard it's not overrated.
it's not. It's really damn good.
I heard it's
But
perfectly rated.
this is too, and this is the kind of story that I say to anybody who, this is a 3 month dedication, 3 issues. You don't need other homework. It worth it. And this is 33% of the story is already out, and it's a banger. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I really like how they go in depth in with the relationship. I just like kind of I feel like me personally, just because of my age and where at the time I grew up, like I don't have a whole lot of Jason Todd
Exactly.
as I'm reading and going on, I have to go out and find it. And I've obviously done my homework,
We've
but
done the work.
it's nice to have something, being printed and going in depth and really taking responsibility for, knowing what it's supposed to do. And I
Yeah.
think Lemire does that wonderfully. It's a great evaluation of the relationship, and even the relationship with Bruce and Alfred. I thought there were some great moments there. Wen's artwork is just spectacular. It's great. I love how different it is. The watercolor. I don't know if it's watercolor or not. That's the best way I could describe it. It's just
I think it
fantastic.
is. Yeah.
It's unlike anything else. And I'm a sucker for Batman and Robin, any Robin. I hope they
Yeah.
continue doing these stories with Robins. It'd be great to get a Tim Drake story. I would
Yeah.
love a Stephanie Brown story in this series if
It'd
it
be
ever got
totally
to that.
unique if they worked their way to that.
Yeah, all the way up to Damien. I know Damien's getting his fair share now, but I'm really enjoying. I'm glad this is like a thing. I really
Yeah.
hope that they want to do all Robins. You know, even maybe I don't know. I know I'm getting greedy here, but if they did a little We Are Robin, I love We Are Robin, so that's one of my favorites. So if they can get something like that, like I know I'm getting really greedy, but yeah, we have gotten a lot. There are 3 Batman and Robin books this month. That's great. That
Yeah.
I really can't complain. This is just a wonderful. This is like 6 cherries on top. To be honest, between the 2 regular books,
Yeah.
it's not
I'm
even
trying.
regular. Like there's one limited. I would say what a
Okay. There we
maxi
go.
Batman and Robin year one's what a maxi run, right? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think Maxi series is the 12 issue.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and then you have a monthly regular, and then this. Like
Mini,
that's awesome.
limited,
That's great.
Maxi, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm very excited, very happy. Yeah. It's great. I think it's totally worth it. It's a little bit more expensive, right?
Yeah. But that's, I mean,
5.99.
because
That's not that bad. It comes in like
no,
a
you're
nice
getting
little
more
book. Yeah,
pages.
yeah. I don't think
It's,
I think it's
it's,
totally worth it.
it's almost, yeah, it's 40 instead of like 22, 23, and you're paying like a buck more.
Mhm.
So in my eyes too, worth it.
It's like
Pick it up.
totally, totally awesome.
Yeah. And it'd be one thing if the story wasn't good, but it was. So
No, it's great. It's
make it
great.
happen.
Make it happen.
You just mentioned the Batman and Robin, so let's go to Batman and Robin number 22 on this
Hmm.
one. Philip Kennedy Johnson. Fernandez, I'll get to his first name. I'm not going to say that I have Javi Fernandez, and then Carmine Di Giandomenico did
Hmm.
just a couple pages. I'm having trouble with this one. I think I'm in a rut now where this is like the third month in a row that I'm having issues.
Is it
Like
too
I
ghouly?
it's going too long, I think, without too much movement for me right now. It's kind of feeling slow pacing, and I think I
Hmm.
said
Hmm.
last month I'll look forward to reading this when it's collected, and I hope that it hits better. But I'm just kind of feeling like it's starting to move along at a slower pace for me. That I'm getting a little like,
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
reading it just for the show, and I don't know. The art looks cool, but I don't know. I'm on this one.
I can't argue with you. I think I like what's going on with Batman and this chick detective. I think that's pretty cool. I like the Robin stuff. Let me just mute Al here before she goes off. Um, Alexa, by the way, I should. That's if I said her name,
I was
she
like,
might
whoa,
kick
whoa,
me.
whoa, who's Al?
Yeah, Alexa. If I don't
Well,
mute her,
hello.
she's beeping. So I like this detective stuff with Batman. I like what's going on with Robin. What he's got to figure that stuff out. But I'm with you. I think it is going on. It is a little long, and I do think it's a little too ghouly.
Yeah.
Etrigan, this, that, magic. It's starting
I
to
don't like
lean.
Etrigan. I don't like
Yeah,
Etrigan. I never
he's
have.
kind of like Thor. Like when he starts talking, I start disliking him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of. I think the story's good. I think he's doing a good job. I think he's doing what he needs to do. It's not really my thing. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Look, kind of more looking forward to when this wraps up than anything else because I'm like, all right, I'm due for a new arc. Kind
Yeah.
of let's cleanse the palate. Let's start over because I'm still enjoying the book. There's aspects of the book I enjoy, but I'm with you. It's kind of a letdown. I'm with you. Let's put a bow on this, pal.
Let's wrap it up. Start a new one.
Let's wrap it
Start
up on a
anew.
wrap up, okay, pal?
There we go. Okay. All right. Let's go.
All right. Thanks a lot.
The That concludes the second Wednesday of the month. So let's move to June 18th. All right. So we did such an ebb and flow there of like Robin and Batman, Jason Todd, we're up here, way up here. Batman and Robin, we're down. Pete, now we're back and we're soaring with Batman and Robin year one, number 8.
Yeah.
Because this book can't miss. The book can't
No.
miss. It's freaking awesome. Mark Waid, Chris Samney. Uh, my goodness. And I'm not saying because like the most intense, flashy Batman stuff ever, or some big dramatic death or anything like that. It's just like this is a really good freaking story
Mhm.
written by Mark Waid, and then the art is I can't get enough of the freaking art. It's totally
Very
different.
Darwin Cookie.
Yes, Darwin Cookie. I just think a good contemporary cousin of the
Mhm.
animated series, which, basically across the board everybody loves, right? Well, it's not telling a story that you flat out know, so it's not predictable. The art is comfortable but kind of different, and it's like this is where I'm really happy with our variety of Batman comics right now because in a totally different way from the Dustin Nguyen's art, it's like this is awesome looking art in a totally different way than Hayden Sherman's art. This is awesome looking art. So we have just a nice variety and they're
Mhm.
all hitting the same, like
Yeah, I agree.
exceeding the expectations that we have for it.
I think that this also is just as deep as the Lemire book in terms of the relationship with Batman and Robin. I know, but
Yeah.
it also it's like it's great because it's different Robin. It's Dick Grayson, so you're seeing Bruce and Dick and that aspect work out in front of you, and then the other side we got Bruce and Todd, which is
Yeah.
great. So we're getting both of them at the same time, and I like the Batman mentoring stuff. Even
Yeah.
I think the Batman Gordon stuff is vintage. It's great. Batman even cracks a bit of a smile here, and he doesn't look bad doing it. So that's always an achievement in my book. And by the end, like everyone's favorite and most popular villain makes an appearance
Yeah.
as he's been doing. He's clearly popping up in all places, and that's Clayface. So,
Coincidence?
uh, yeah, I
Yeah.
think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally think it's a coincidence, not a company initiative. Uh,
I think some highlights of this for sure. It is fun to see. It's almost like one of those, oh, how's Bruce Wayne gonna get out of this one? And sending people after him to see if he is Batman.
Mhm.
And it seems like they've got him kind of cornered and like, oh man, how's he gonna fool them without and not show his hand? And I'll let anybody read it to know how he does that here. How an impersonator is in Wayne Manor, and how Dick Grayson uses his little detective work to figure that out. It's like
My
those are
favorite
cool little
panel, dude,
moments.
is the panel of Grayson with the sandwich, and he's like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, he literally doesn't say anything,
Yeah.
but it's just like, I was like, yeah, that sums it up. That's like, I just love that Dick Grayson moment. It's a great book. It's
Yeah.
it's fantastic, and it's
Yep.
again another Batman book that is almost timeless. Like all these,
Yeah.
you have main continuity, you have the Wen Lemire book, which is who knows and who cares, and then
Yeah.
this one, like it's, again, like they're all taking place at different times, but
Those are
really
the best
enjoyable.
Batman books. They just are. I think if you make one, you mentioned Snyder's run, and I'm not gonna shit on that run. I love most, like 4/5 of that run. I do love.
Up until like
Um,
he left
there's
Batman.
there's a lot of tech based on that, and for the
Hmm.
most part that can't. But I think technology is one thing that can end up dating something, and I think somehow there's a lot of code cracking with the classic Batman stories that the tech doesn't feel of its time and become dated or anything. And it's just adding to your point here of this book too. It's going to read just as well in 10 years, 15 years. Um,
I always like it when Batman's almost one step ahead, as opposed to Batman like having to kind of get technology. Like I kind of
yeah.
like when Batman's always a little bit more prepared technologically,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Why wouldn't he be? He's
Yeah.
Batman.
Batman. I'm Batman. What you talking about?
Detective Comics 1098, Pete. I want you to start with this one because you said some pretty good things about this one in your
I did.
review
Did
on
you?
Batman on
First
Film.
of all, what you enjoyed this one? You having fun with this one? Because I'm having a
Okay.
blast.
Tom Taylor, writer. Lee Garbett, art.
Mhm.
I had a lot of fun with this issue. I liked
I,
it quite a
dude,
bit.
these two stories have been a blast for me.
Not just because your boy Penguins ends in it,
Makes
but
it
they
well. I
really
mean,
good dynamic.
that's most of it. Let's be
But
honest.
most of it, okay.
Penguin's inclusion is incredible. Like I don't know
He's
how he
true to
snuck him in
form.
there.
There you
Oh,
go.
it's great.
He's true to form.
Batman and Bullock, Batman and Penguin. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a fun dynamic.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of worried about Fake Blade. Like it's still an interesting
Sure.
thing, but this whole elixir thing is kind of working for me. It's weird. I do feel like everyone's trying to get their Court of Owls in, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Like
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very common thing. The secret society that no one knows we're here, but we've always been here from the start.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, everyone's got to have
Eh,
this? How big is Gotham?
eh. Yeah.
Yeah,
For me,
right. Like
that starts
it
to cut.
works in context of the story, but I'm just saying, but in the greater aspect of Batman, it's just kind of like this is happening a lot.
Yeah. It's one of those almost cutting corners. It's like um a Batman story for somebody to a new ally to come in and to just quickly, reader, this person's smarter than Batman. It's like, let's build up this character by having that character put down Batman. It's just like
Mhm.
a cheap, I think, uh, way to cut a corner. And I think by doing that too, like, we're a secret society. We were here all along. It's like, you can't just say that. It's
Yeah.
kind of cheap. You're,
But everything
eh,
around it, I think, is really good.
yeah.
I think it's
The
surrounded by a
Bullock
lot of cool
stuff, his
stuff.
torture and his smart ass, like,
Yeah, with the
that's exactly
fingernails.
how Harvey Bullock would react. He wouldn't be like, all right, tear out all of them. I don't care. Like, he's a tough man. He's kind of dirty and scuzzy, but he's a good guy. He's flat out a good guy and he's tough as shit. Like, I liked his dialogue and his banter with Batman back and forth. It's a continuation of everything I
Mhm.
said last month with it, and made me think of that Bullet for Bullock episode from the animated series of like just great character work between them, and then Penguin is right there with them, intervening and yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great. Penguin's like, there's bears out here. Penguin's like, there's no bears out here. There's wolves. Like
Yeah, get it straight,
I,
man.
I enjoyed that. Like it's just, there's certain things that just were very effective. And even in the past issues, I thought dealing with Oracle and such was great.
Hmm.
Batman's technology, like I said, he seems to be one step ahead, and then it's kind of exposing it to Penguin. And Penguin's like, I gotta remember you. And Batman's like, I'll have to change my ways. Just little things like that. It's really, I don't know. It's like, it's almost like Burgess Meredith meets Bale. You
Yeah.
know, it's like one line. That's all I'm gonna say. And he's like,
Yeah.
I gotta remember this. You got a flying bat. It's like that. That's how I'm reading this in my head. So that's a deep dive. But yeah, no. And there's
Nice.
like I don't know. Like I kind of like the Call of Duty aspect of like, are we gonna get Bullock out of this bunker? He's been terrorized. Like I think it's kind of cool to see Batman in that kind of like search and rescue type mission. Uh,
It's also different from the other Batman stories this month. We're not seeing like a, carryover and not like the same story like tie-in, but like, oh yeah, we saw in Batman and Robin Year One, like there was an interrogation thing and they had to save somebody. No, we didn't get that either. So we're getting good issues of things and the stories are different.
mhm.
Like they aren't using the same kind of devices for plots or anything like that. So yeah, this is cool. I do think issue 1100 is another like celebration issue where it's going to be it's a bigger issue with a bunch of different people working on it. So I expect this storyline or this arc to wrap up next month, but it might be like it wraps up in 1100 or
Mhm.
something.
How
But
great is this
just
cover
it's
for
good.
this book, by the way?
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a
Mikel
poster cover.
Yanin. I loved that he was on
Yanin. I
Taylor's
think it's
first
Yanin.
arc. Okay. I love that he was the main artist on that first arc, but at least he's still doing the covers because I think those covers are awesome.
Yeah, love the colors too. I think the
Yeah,
purplish, pinkish,
popping.
blue stuff it just really pops. Yeah, I mean, I would totally buy a poster, like I said earlier. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, good stuff there. Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 40. Let's see. What did I think of this one? Oh, I didn't
Lauer,
really like
Lauer,
this one.
Lauer. I do not need to see Batman mechs anymore.
Yeah,
No more.
yeah.
Done with
I'm.
that.
Yep. And we're not
No,
done talking about it after this issue
no.
either.
Well, that's also another problem. But I will say, if we're not, we've been honest with this. This is the way this series has gone for us
Yep. Yeah.
since inception, right?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, there's an arc that just knocks our socks off. Then there's an arc we kind of like that we didn't expect, and then there's an arc we don't want to read ever again.
Yep.
So it's up and down, but if you this is your jam, this is it. I got no problem with the kaiju and Superman, but it's I don't need Batman mechs. I don't need
Yeah.
Mecha Batman. Don't need that at all ever again.
Not my thing. Not my thing. And I'll say, like the Gordon, Perry White, Lois stuff, I
That's the
kind of
best stuff of the
liked.
book. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So that's I can't say I'll never read this again, but I have no plans to anytime in the near future. Just not my this just isn't my story, but that doesn't
You know
mean
what
that
it reminded
I'm
me
gonna
of?
dog on it because there's some good stuff in it.
Remember Batman Superman with Loeb? Wasn't there a Toyman like part? And didn't he give? Wasn't there a half Batman, half Superman mech in that one too?
Probably.
Wasn't was his name Mio or something like that? There was a young Toyman from China or Japan or something like
Don't I don't know. I trust you and believe you that yes.
that. What happened? So
Isn't that
if
something? I
you
mean,
like Batman Superman mechs, check that one out. I believe that's true. I believe it's
and
Loeb. It's at
uh,
least Batman Superman or Superman.
Adrian Gutierrez is the artist. Mark Waid writing this one, drastically different from Batman Robin Year One. uh, I thought that the crossover was in this one. That the crossover with Justice League Unlimited that's been going on the past two
No, that
months.
ended in Unlimited.
That ended in Unlimited. Let's see. We Are Yesterday. And so I did put on the list Justice League Unlimited #8, which came out the last Wednesday of the month because it's the finale of that. But I started looking at this and then it's not my thing. So I don't know if you ended up reading it or not. I did not.
I actually did read it because you put it in the rundown, so I did what was in
I
the
did. Look
rundown.
at you. You did the work.
And I
I
did. Oh, I
didn't.
did. And I'm trying to remember it. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
A lot of
Um,
action. A lot of action.
it was cool. It's like it was kind of gave me vibes of like I actually like this more than the other one, like a crisis on Infinite Earths.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of different characters popping in from timelines and different versions, like and it's a kind of a God-centered story. So I actually enjoyed it. I liked the way it wrapped up. Surprised, just pleasantly surprised. We'll put it that way. Definitely
Okay.
not going to be on the top of my reading pile, but if someone was up to me, he's like, hey, I'm kind of like into like, what's going on, like any cool, like crazy multiverse thing, and I'd be like, you know what? Recently they did this Grodd story, so if anyone was into that, I would recommend it. But I probably wouldn't just like, hey, you got any good Batman stories? It wouldn't be the top of my recommendation list. But unless somebody really likes, multiverse stuff.
Um,
But I actually thought it was pretty solid for what it was, to be honest with you.
I'll give it another shot collected. Just sometimes like this is just it feels like it absolutely delivers on what the title's called,
Mhm.
Justice League Unlimited. I think you're getting Justice League Unlimited. So if
It
that's
did
your
leave me
thing,
with
this is for you.
questions going forward for DC Universe in general. It's like it seems like a lot of these characters are now stuck in main continuity, and that does include like there's 0 Year Batman. It looks like there's I want to say a more contemporary Batman, Dick Grayson. Then there's another Robin. There's Batman Beyond. There's Electric Blue Superman. Like there's Barry Allen from the Flash Year One. It looks like and Amanda Connor's Harley Quinn. So it seems like a lot of characters from different universes are stuck in main continuity. So I don't know what that's gonna do. I don't know if that's part of what they're doing with Absolute, because I imagine that's gonna tie
Mhm.
into main continuity. So this is usually a title where I feel like something like that would happen, and I feel like it hints at it. I don't know if it's gonna close at the end, but I have some interesting ideas.
All right. Maybe it'll pay off. Mark Waid on this one, Dan Mora, and it just come out actually recently that Dan Mora, I don't think you read the Transformers comics. The
No.
our mutual pal Carlos, he got me into the Energon universe, so Void Rivals that and GI Joe, and I actually have really been digging them. And Dan Mora is going to be on
Do they
Transformers.
have any good jazz stuff out? I'll pick out like a jazz one shot every once in a while.
I'll keep it in mind as I
Yeah, let me
continue
know.
to catch up on that. But Dan Mora's taken over because Robert Kirkman is going to be writing it. But yeah, Dan Mora on that, and I'm like, ooh,
Usually when
I
it
think
comes to
he's going to do a good
Transformers,
Optimus. He's going to draw a
I
pretty
mean, he
good
could draw anything.
Optimus.
So
Yeah, he can draw anything good. Yeah, what am I
usually it
talking
comes
about?
to Transformers, it's like for me, it's jazz, Soundwave. Who's the red minivan? What was his name? I
I'm
forget what
not
it
by
was.
any means an
That's
expert. So
G1.
this is all Carlos got me
I forget what it
all
was,
hooked
but
up.
yeah, those are usually the characters that I have. I actually have a Soundwave right here. I have a little Soundwave,
Let me see. Let me see. Let me
a
see.
little radio.
Adam,
Right?
nice. There's been some Soundwave stuff in there for
Yeah.
sure. Jazz has been in there. Uh,
So Jazz and Soundwave are probably my favorites, if I had to say. I was very
Sean
disappointed when they
Murphy
killed her in the
hooked
first movie.
hooked me up with his a print of his for Transformers and Optimus is front
Soundwave.
and center. It looks great. But anyways, Dan Morrow, I mean, nothing anybody doesn't already know. He's awesome. You and I love his work. So if you're looking for stuff outside of DC and Batman, but um, that can extend this conversation then, Pete, to your favorite part.
No, no
List.
Batman and Nuxus. No Batman
No
and
Batman
Nuxus.
and Nuxus. No, maybe one of these days.
Maybe one of these
Um,
days.
Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2. Number one. Kicked off beginning of this month. You and I enjoyed the first series of that. I think the end, it kind of like, it was like, okay.
Which
But
is
I
what I
think,
almost expected. So it met
yeah,
expectations.
summer blockbuster and a comic,
Yeah.
like just some fun stuff. And speaking of a mecha Batman, um, we get one of those here.
You know who else is in this book? Mr. Terrific.
He,
Hmm.
wow, coincidence, Peter?
Coincidence? Maybe not.
I thought this issue was fine. Moments of like nothing negative, but like I was kind of a little bit like, "Ooh, that's cool," to like, "Okay, this is all right." "Ooh, that's cool." All right, this is all right. It never got to like,
Mhm.
"That's freaking awesome," but it never got to like, not enjoying this either. It was
It was
kind of like,
interesting.
yeah, it was more of what we saw from before. I had to read some of the sciencey talk from Waller and whoever this colonel and stuff. Like I had to like
Well, at
reread a
first I thought
little
it was
bit.
Flag. It's not Flag.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
So nice little round turn of events there.
And I was gonna see if I can find his name, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, the Justice League ends up back on Skull Island. We do see Godzilla. We do see Colonel Leland, Lafayette Shaw the Third. Okay. Um,
All right. Leland.
we we see Kong. We see Godzilla. Uh, both in different areas doing some comic book goodness. Yeah, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I don't think the Batman mech needed a cape.
Nope.
But at the same
I
time,
didn't either, but whatever.
it was interesting to kind of. It felt like what if Batman was on Kong Skull Island, that movie with Samuel
Yeah.
L. Jackson. Like it felt like very kind of like Apocalypse Now. Like it was kind. It kind of gave me that vibe.
I haven't
I didn't.
watched that in a while. I need to because that's the
Good.
best. That's the best of all of them, I
I'm
think.
very happy. I kind of dug with what they did with King Shark. I'm very happy he didn't die.
Yeah.
I kind
Yeah.
of
Same.
dig what Waller's doing scientifically, or what she was doing. So I was just having fun with it. It's I thought it was cool to tie this into Barry Allen's wedding and how this is going to kind of be a little
Yeah.
subplot. I thought that was an interesting little thing there.
Hmm.
So I'm pleasantly surprised with this book overall. To be honest with you,
All right.
enjoyed it. It is what I expected to be. So like I'm not I don't think it's anything too serious. I think it's having a good time. I think it knows what it is. So I really enjoyed it.
Okay. There you go.
And I thought Godzilla looked great. Like the artist did a
Yeah, he did.
fantastic. Like Godzilla looked like I was like, oh wow, that looks just like out of the last time I saw Godzilla in a movie, even scarier. Like he looks absolutely incredible. So
Yeah.
Godzilla looked absolutely amazing.
Nightwing 127. So we've talked quite a bit about Dan Waters this
Mhm.
month. Dexter Soy, the artist, which I've really been digging Dexter Soy's art. This one was a little also up and down for me. Parts
Mhm.
of it I really did enjoy, and then some of it got a little strange and a little weird.
Yeah.
And by the end, you can kind of almost understand a little bit why it's a little weird, but eh, eh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not my favorite Waters book, but I don't think it's bad. Again, the
No,
Grayson Oracle stuff was really good. I don't really hate this whole sister angle that Taylor started.
uh-uh.
I'm kind of digging it, but I'm with you. At one point, you're kind of like, "What the hell's Nightwing going to do against that thing?"
Yeah.
And they even call it out in the book. It's funny. She's like, "Yeah, we're here because you can't deal with this with your sticks." you know. So like, I was like, "Okay, I dig
Well, it's one
that."
of those things I can't even get behind the design of that thing, you know? It's just like
I was like, "What is that?" So I
even if
was
it's no, it's supposed to be. I'm like, I know it's supposed to be, but there's like it's almost like with a villain where it's like, man, they are performing or writing that character so well. I'm enjoying not liking that character. And then there's like, just get it off the screen. Get off the page. I don't like this.
Nightwing versus the Thing.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, eh.
Interesting. We'll see how it plays out. But
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I actually kind of liked it.
All
I
right.
thought the story moved forward, but a little funky at times, especially when you get to the purple
The
thing.
end. Mhm. Then lastly for me, but it's more so passing the baton over to you. Sonic the Hedgehog in DC #4, because you
I thought this
got
was
a variant
cool.
cover.
Yeah, I did. I've been really enjoying this, having fun with it.
Hmm.
I thought at times the artwork was almost too dumbed down though. Like I thought at times like Green Lantern just looked very simple. It wasn't consistent. I thought Superman looked very young and weird at
Hmm.
times. Oh, very. You know what it kind of looks like at times. It looks like your what was that Batman book where he was in the retirement home?
Dark
That
Age.
guy. Yeah, yeah. Kind of sometimes like Superman looks like straight like something that guy would have drawn. That's kind of my take on that.
Oh man, why am I blanking on the name? Carry on, and
Yeah.
I'll bring up the name.
But I think the best part of the book is when Batman fights Metal Sonic. I think I personally would buy this art. Like I know that's really stupid
Michael
to
Allred.
say.
There we go.
Yeah, that's it. And I like Aldridge's Silver Surfer stuff, so it's not a knock on him. But if
Yeah.
I was ever to
Mm.
buy, like honestly, artwork, like an actual money on a page of art from an artist, I would buy like digitally. I feel like it's got to be like what is it? It's got to be page 9. Like I just love page 9 of this book. To me, like that's
With
like
Batman in the
with
that one?
Batman and Metal Sonic. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
to me is just really cool.
No
I love
dialogue,
it's very Tom King.
action
There's no dialogue.
sequence.
Well, Metal Sonic doesn't talk, so it's perfect.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
Um, it's just
Yeah, it's
it's
cool.
great. Like these 2 pages are great. I would get posters of these. That's how much I love them. Just it's an awkward combination that just works for me. But
The that was going to be my highlight, is obviously the 2 pages of Batman.
and I think the Flash
Um,
stuff is very good character wise.
Otherwise, I think the issue for me, and maybe it was just my mood at the time of reading it, but I just thought it was okay. But I really liked the
It's
Batman
simple.
action scene. It felt like, just like fun Batman from a
Yeah.
cartoon, and I thought that was really cool. So overall,
Superman
it was all right.
Robotnik was fun for me as well. Like I just
True, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm with you on Superman for sure. Where he just seems a little, I don't know, a
That
little off to
for
me.
some reason that like this I feel like the art the Green Lantern pages don't look very good
Mm, yeah.
in my opinion. Like I feel like it looks too dumbed
Um,
down. But that's
I
just my take.
think I
But
think
I'll
this
be
is
honest, they are blending Sonic and DC in such an awesome way. Like it's
yeah.
everything from the little glowy things from Sonic Colors to like it's not like they didn't miss anything. They got Chaos Emeralds. It's been pretty good in terms of giving those characters their due in a space that they usually don't occupy, which is this DC world. I think I kind of think this book is overachieved in my opinion.
You're in which it wraps up next month. I thought it was 6 issues. It's five. You found a video online. So you got, what was your variant? Describe to the
Uh,
listeners.
I believe it was just Shadow as Batman.
And it looked like you sent me a video that's legit going to become a figure that you can buy.
Yeah, so one of those I forget who it is. I forget what his handle is, but one of the toy guys I follow on Instagram was like, "Where they're making," and he was like, he doesn't read the comics, so like and he makes that known. But he was like, I didn't even know this is the thing. He's like, what are they doing this for? And I was like, oh wow, they're really doing this. So they're coming out with like all the Sonic characters as the DC heroes. I think it's a Spin Master line, and I think they're doing Uxas. So they're doing a dark side. That's the DC character. They're gonna do a big dark side. I only really want the Flash Sonic character personally.
You
I
don't
don't
want
really
the Batman one?
not really. I liked it I bought it as the variant. I like that, but
Okay.
because I want Sonic as the Flash, and I want
That
Uxas.
makes the most sense if you're to have one of these, that it's
Yeah,
Sonic is in a flash suit. Rocco the Great Art on Instagram. That's who
but
you
there's
sent.
yeah. So he's pretty legit when it comes to like news and stuff, and he's pretty funny. And they're also doing Funko Pops, which I saw, and I was like, oh, the Knuckles as Superman pop just looks entertaining to me. I don't know if I'll pick it up, but if it's at the right price and on sale, maybe. But I definitely want to pick up these Sonic Flash things.
Yeah.
That's
All
it.
right.
Like Tails as Cyborg. I don't need the other ones. I'm good with just Sonic as a Flash. I think it just works in terms of
Fair.
design.
All right. Why
And
don't you
I'll
carry?
get the Uxas, by the way. I'm totally buying
Of
Uxas.
course.
Yes.
Well, I mean, come on.
I know there was some doubt out there, just so
Yeah.
everybody knows. I will be.
Um,
I think it looks like it's a good size too, and I actually like the design. So
yeah.
like It might replace Bear
So
Chest Dukes that's on my shelf.
winner all around. All right, carry on with your list now. What do you got for Batman and Friends?
Batgirl 8 was okay. Probably not my favorite issue in the run so far. Not really too concerned about knowing Lady Shiva's backstory, love story with David Kane. I kind of am just happy with Cassandra, but the artwork's good. There's some good spy elements, some good action. But yeah, like the story's just not really moving me. Still in love with Poison Ivy 22. That's really great. Lots of good like plant sci-fi things. Killer Croc. This is probably the best version of Killer Croc printed this month. So there's that as well. Love the aspects she created. Willow Wilson created this character. His first name is Peter, and he's got like this flower head. He's like total Poison Ivy, like the green type character out there, and it just works so well within the context of the story. I love it. Ivy's on. It's really cool. It's deep. It's not your typical like action heavy book in terms of like Batman characters. It's something totally different. So, if you guys are real willing to try, something really out of your normal element, I really suggest this. I've been raving about it forever. It's basically like the Thomas the Tank Engine of comic books. It just can't get canceled. People just love it too much. So a lot of people are reading it. I'm trying to get more people to read it. It's almost like, man, it feels like to me, it feels like modern day Swamp Thing, like Alan Moore. That's how it's more than just a comic. It gets down there in the muck.
There you
So
go.
just to
All
keep it
right.
Ivy and Poison Ivy related.
One final question, Peter.
Yes, you've got a question?
What was your favorite comic of the month?
Favorite comic of the month. I'm gonna have to go with Jason Todd. I'm a
Ooh.
sucker for Dustin Wen. Like his art always
Yeah.
captivates me. It's unlike anything else. Yeah, like if I had to pick one, I think that's what it was. But by close second place would have to be Dark Patterns.
I've got about three vying for the
Seconds.
top spot. So for and I do, yeah, I want it different, but I think speaking genuinely, God, it's close. Batman and Robin Year One, number 8.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Right there, Dark Patterns and Robin and Batman, Jason Todd. Though they're like freaking, they're right there. Good stuff. Good variety of
Yeah.
comics this month. Just a couple that was like, eh. But I mean, even the was an improvement for Pete's reading experience on the one. So hey,
Yeah,
I'll
I
take
mean, I
it.
think he's got that going
Optimistic
for him.
spin. All right, Pete, that'll do it. Thanks for putting
Yeah.
in the work yet again for the I don't know, 55th month in a row or however
Is that
long
how
it's
long it's
been.
been?
I don't know.
Wow.
What's 4 years and then a couple
That's
months on top of it.
crazy.
So yeah. So
That's
we're at like
crazy. Jim Lee
52,
should definitely be
53.
paying attention to us.
He should.
He
Let's get
should.
some more comic creators on here. Jim, why don't you come on? Let's talk some Hush too. Let's talk about the Batman classic Hush. Let's
Yes.
do it
Yeah.
all.
Well, yeah. Of
Oh,
course. Of
yeah.
course.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and spit out where
Uh,
people can follow you or what you're up to these
at
days?
Pete Illustrated, at straight_O_G, at Spidey Coalition, at Batman on Film, at the Batman BC. That's it. That's me.
Got it
Everywhere.
all. Everything.
That's it.
You just heard him say where you can follow this show on socials.
Mm-hmm.
I urge you, if you haven't, go ahead and check out the past couple episodes from this month. This was a really fun month. Batman Begins comic adaptation with the writer of that, Scott Beatty.
I
He's
love that
awesome to
book.
talk to. Yeah, that was fun. It was awesome to hear from
It's the
him of
last
the
one, really.
creation. It was the last one, the only because Denny O'Neil did all the other ones and can't
Yeah.
speak with him anymore. R.I.P. So Beatty, it was cool to hear his
Someone's got to
process
have
of
an interview we haven't heard with Denny O'Neil, right?
yeah, release it. The then in no relation to that comment whatsoever, Batman Forever comic adaptation with the great Ryan Haas. That was really fun to talk about. And then, like I already said, last month or last episode was with Tom King. Great talking to him. So yeah, this has been a fun month. Let's see. Subscribe to the Batman Book Club on YouTube. Pete and I dipped into No Man's Land. We'll get back there again soon. Let's see. Support the show however you can. There's a variety of ways you can do that. Patreon.com/TheBatmanBC. TeePublic.com. Type in TBBC for the Batman Book Club. But if you want to support the show and you don't want to spend any money at all, that's 100% A-OK. Easiest, quickest, most impactful and helpful thing you can do is rate and review the show. So however you listen to it, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, wherever, go to the rate and review page and rate and review the show, because the more reviews the show gets, the more it helps spread the word. And as you, me, and Pete all know, that word is panic. We found that out 20 years ago, just this month, Pete. So for Peter R. Verra, I am Ryan Lauer. Until next time, remember that, guys.